changes or edits to the agenda from commissioners? All right.
Is this a monthly meeting?
Yes, and we do observe parliamentary procedures so that
Oh, I'm
commissioners.
sorry.
Oh, that's okay. We have a public comment period at the end of the meeting. You're welcome to provide public comment. Thank you for being here. So with that, we will move. All those in favor of tonight's agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we'll kick it off with district updates, starting with Commissioner Moritz.
Mark Moritz, District 6. The only update is that I earlier reported on a car that drove North High Street into a street light. A couple weeks ago, another car drove off North High Street, same spot, hit a sign, and then hit a house.
Oh.
Checked the report. That's my only update.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Miller.
Yep, Drew Miller, District 9. I would want to thank Officer Hallenstein and Christopher Clark from the City Attorney's Office for helping us with some neighbor disputes. And some
Thank you, Commissioner. And Commissioner Saucer might be joining us here momentarily, so we'll add her at the end after we get through, if she's a little bit tardy. I'm Brittany Bolton with District 5, Central Clintonville. A few things. We had a massive tree branch that was down in front of the 300 block on Chatham that a lot of neighbors were concerned about. That did get taken care of a couple days ago. So thank you to the city for clearing that up after the holiday. Thank you to Commissioner Wyman and Chair Dahl and Chair Foshi and Commissioner Saucer for coming out and volunteering at our booth at the Clintonville 4th of July Festival. We spent the day down there last week and it was hot, but we had lots and lots of residents come through and learn about the area commission and learn about ArborFest and about our election cycle, kind of all the hot topics area commission this summer. What else?
May I comment on that?
Public comment will be later this evening. Thank you so much. The final thing is I've gotten a lot of emails about the trees on Tulane, which I know we will cover later this evening, but I've tried my best to respond to everybody who's written in about that. For those of you who haven't heard, I had a baby 5 weeks ago, so I'm like behind on emails.
Oh, sweet. Bless you.
Thank you. So if I've been delayed on anybody's emails, I apologize. Commissioner Lorda.
Hi, Paul Lott, District 1. We had an ongoing block watch meeting. We learned that Precinct 3 now has a new CLO, Officer Lyons. So Officer Lyons can join us here at our Clintonville Area Commission meetings as well. We had an update from our Chair of the Planning and Development Committee, Eliza Lindexter. DPS is going to request council to approve the contract award to Strasser Paving, NOLA from Hudson up to Oakland Park. That's where it is. That'll include, it was a big complete street study and neighborhood input, and it'll have bike lanes and repaired sidewalks and curb ramps and that kind of thing. And they hope that the construction will start to fall. It's a weird time to start a paving project, but here we are.
I'm really grateful for the folks on Tulane for really picking up the ball on this tree issue on our street. Columbia Gas is getting ready to restore our street after a gas line installation, and DPS, the Department of Public Service, says that 19 trees need to come down, big ones. Some of them really nice sweet gums that have just 90-foot spread, that kind of thing, 42-inch diameter, that kind of stuff. Columbia Gas has indicated through their arborist that there's curb options to rebuild the curb in a way where the tree is not damaged. DPS is kind of digging their heels in. I have my own personal thoughts on DPS, but I won't say them. So hopefully, I've had a lot of conversations with City Forester on this, and some trees do have to come down because they are damaged from that construction and for other reasons. So that's understandable. Trees don't live forever, but any effort made to save the ones that are there would be great.
How about out west in California?
My name's Mike Wyman, and my report is for District 7. And pretty quiet, other than we had a business that had an event on North High Street. It caused some lines going down the block and a lot of parking issues. I was able to get a hold of the fire department, who went out, and these folks were keeping their business to 25 persons. But they did get cited for not having an event permit. So that'll be making its way through, I guess, environmental court for not getting this event permit. It was some pop-up event for some company out of North Carolina that goes around the country, and so got that taken care of. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet.
Move on to our approval of our June meeting minutes. Commissioner Moritz, would you like to present them?
I shared the minutes with all the committee members. I heard back from one person say everyone fine. Don't think there were any Easter eggs.
All those in favor of approving June's minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say sign. Thank you. Commissioner Miller, any updates from the treasurer?
Yeah, since the last meeting, we had one invoice from the election committee for our ad in the Clintonville Spotlight. That was $150. So our 2025 funds remaining is $2,244.05.
And we've got Chair Dahl here with an elections update for all of our open seats.
Good evening. I actually have a fellow member of the election committee here tonight, Sarah Snyder, District 2. Happy to have her join. So the election is going to be August 23rd. That's a Saturday. Early voting is August 19th. All of that's at Whetstone Library. The districts in scope for the election are 2, 3, 6, and 8. District 2 is a special election, but the general election procedures will apply. 8 people so far have picked up candidate petition packets for District 2. That includes Cody Weisbrot and Brenda Arnold. District 3, Joe Ronschke, Jordan Tickner, Tom Albanese, and Brian Hoineke. District 6, Mark Moritz. District 8, Gerard Fontana Santora. And only one person so far has submitted a completed packet, and that's Jordan Tickner for District 3. The deadline to submit packet is next Monday, 4 o'clock. Submit the packets front desk of Whetstone Library. And then the committee will be validating anybody who submits a packet and notifying the commission, and then those folks are cleared to be on the ballot, and then we get into writing candidate cycle. There's separate deadlines to submit paperwork to be a writing candidate after that. So that's the update for the evening. Is any questions? There's packets out there at the front desk if you're interested.
Any questions from commissioners? Thank you so much for your very detailed update. Are there questions from the public before Chair Dawson's time? No. Okay. Run. We need engaged folks. Next, we will hear from Ms. Christine Palmer with the Zone In Initiative. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for adding me to the agenda.
Hello. Where's she at?
This was not on the printed version. This is our edition.
Pass those around. If anyone has a phone, they can take a photo of the cards that are coming around. They decrease our footprint. We didn't print too many cards for this evening. And once again, I'm Christine Palmer. I work in the zoning office for the city of Columbus. So along with the zoning office, the planning office is working on phase 2 of the zoning project. You're very familiar with phase 1. High Street was rezoned largely, as well as Indianola. So now we're rolling further into the community. You know, phase 1 was just a very small portion of the rezoning that's taking place.
What does that mean?
That the zoning code will be updated and modernized across the city.
Oh, okay.
So the next phase that we're looking at, there are public workshops for those that are available to attend some evening meetings, or we also have surveys online. So let me, once again, we have one handout and you can take a photo. The same code on there gets you to the website for the online survey. And if you guys are going to scan it, maybe email out to your folks. The first meeting was yesterday at Gilly on Morse Road, which is actually the closest one to the neighborhood, but just the way time has rolled, we still have 3 more workshops, and those will be on July 16th, July 23rd, and July 30th. But we know not everyone can make it to a workshop there is a 2-part interactive online survey that we would love your input. And what are we doing in phase 2? What are we focusing on? We are focusing on essentially the same goals that we worked with phase 1. And as I mentioned, it's to modernize our zoning code. Our zoning code is largely based on 1950s principles. A lot of the jargon is onerous and cumbersome for no reason. So that's largely why we modernize it, as well as evolve with the time. So we want to support growth that is much more focused on mixed uses, as opposed to separating all of the uses that the traditional zoning code laid out, commercial here, residential there. We know that folks want to create generally a walkable community, and that core value is with mixing of those uses. So we also want to guide the design of this new growth that's coming to the city, with historically, variances that would come before the area commission. Negotiations would take place to, help engender that design and make it the best possible for that corridor. Well, the zoning code takes those best practices and is going to incorporate those going forward. And we saw that with phase 1 along the High Street corridor as well as Indianola corridor. There are now frontage types that are required for that development. So the same will be rolling out. Certainly when we're looking at more of a manufacturing area, those design requirements won't be as stringent as your more walkable neighborhoods along the nice urban corridors. All right. And so the 3 areas we're focusing on for phase 2 is once again looking at mixed use. We got a lot of the commercial corridors rezoned to mixed use, but there are still other opportunity areas in the city for mixed use designations. And then we're looking at industrial and warehouse. So right now in Clintonville, you have some in the Indianola area, of course, that was already actually rezoned to the existing mixed use. There could be an opportunity, maybe the new industrial warehouse districts that they create might be more fitting, say, for the Marzetti site. So we'll look at that as well. But the third area is business and institutional campuses. So, the small or the large Intels of the world, looking at job growth and engendering that with better design. So Clintonville-wise, I don't see where, we have a pocket for that necessarily. What is left unzoned or rezoned into something new is largely the residential areas, and quite a few, the multifamily up north, and then Orange County Village. We're not doing residential yet. That'll be the 3rd phase. We don't have the date and time set for that yet, which I'm sure will be the most interesting to everyone here. But phase 2 is a good portion of the city. A lot of the city is zoned industrial, so we'll get that into a new zoning category that'll help chip away at what we need to do in terms of zoning. So tonight is just an informational, make sure the area commission knows phase 2 is moving forward, and then I will pass out the zone-in what next for you. And feel free as well to scan this if you want to send it out to your group. And I have some extras.
I apologize if I missed this at the top. Did you say when the deadline is for the survey, for this round of the survey for folks?
So the last workshop will be on July 30th. So if the surveys are correlating with that, it would be at the end of the month for the surveys. If anyone wants to give me the Android code. That's not him. And all of these handouts are online. I guess, any questions from the commissioners? Can we move forward?
Yes.
Please, Commissioner
I guess I'm just a little confused with what this phase is about the goal. I know the first one was to increase density along major corridors, along public transit routes. But the second one was like if you come into an area where the pictures show like Children's Hospital, this is to make it easier to for those institutions to add to their facilities, or is it more about trying to bring housing into that area?
Well, where there's appropriate mixed uses, that can also be encouraged, but for certainly with the children, that Nationwide Children's Hospital in the world, mixed uses may not work as well
Yeah.
for them, and they certainly do a great job with their building design, but it will have a code that continues that tradition of higher level design possibly.
So is it like an update then of just the 1950s code?
Yeah.
And it applies to institutional or industrial areas?
Yeah, right now we have a very archaic institutional code period, and it's barely even used. It has these tremendous setbacks for no reason, the acreage size requirement, and then our manufacturing districts have a lot of objectionable uses referring to tanneries and haberdasheries and distances requirements that really aren't needed at this point in time. A microbrewery is not, as an objectionable use like code still has it as classified. So a lot of historical issues that it just really needs to evolve. Sure.
I have a question. With the first phase, if the developer is looking at a property on High Street and the use that they want to bring in is not permitted under the new code, will they still have to follow the same process that exists today, coming to the commission to get that use permit?
Yeah, they'd have to request a use variance, so that would come before the area commission. Certainly it's a brand new code, unless it was something that we totally missed, that like, oh, this use would fit in the corridor. It's hard to say that the city would support a use variance, but it'd be still case by case to see what's appropriate for order.
Yeah, Commissioner Ryan.
Will they be incorporating the Americans with Disability Act at this point?
Well, with the building side of everything, ADA is still a requirement. So this is the foundation for the uses and then building types, but ADA requirements are still the foundation of what anything that comes before us, that those requirements are taken into consideration.
Well, currently those requirements aren't being taken into consideration.
By the building office?
That's right.
Not aware of this. Okay. Have you spoken to?
Oh, I've spoken to people.
We've
I've
had-
spoken.
Yeah, we've
Okay.
had a lot of visitors have this conversation with us from the city. So it's important to know.
Okay, yeah, just get it. It sounds like you have the air of city council as well.
No,
Really?
I don't.
No? Okay, well, that would be your best next step.
Thank you for that question, Commissioner Ryan. I just have one about process for engaging maybe folks who are harder to reach in the community. I appreciate that you're at the area commission. I think a lot of folks in this room are very engaged and have resources to get to public meetings and obviously like childcare and different financial and transportation barriers. So I don't know if you had anything you could share about how trying to reach folks who are struggling with accessing housing to get their input on the process.
Yeah, I don't have the full list of community events that we'll be at, but this weekend is the appropriately the book festival downtown at the main library, and we'll have a table there on both Saturday and Sunday. And there's other summer outings that neighborhoods puts on, and we will have a table there as well. We don't have a list of those complete, but if it's not on the website, I will get it to you there.
Thank you.
Sure.
Are there other questions from neighbors for our friends from Zone In this evening? Yeah.
Question, can you say a little bit more about the ADA requirements that aren't being met in Zone N? I mean, I've not been prior meetings with this.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's no requirement for elevators, the city. There's no requirement for ramps, for example. Of course, there's parking. There's no requirement, they won't enforce parking, handicap parking. So those are some of the issues I run into. They actually encourage people to go 2-3 stories so they don't have to put in an elevator. That's something that development actually pushes in their meetings and things like that. So those are issues I've run into quite often.
And what was the reaction, you may follow up, but what was the reaction from the city?
The city's reaction is that's a federal law, we don't enforce federal law. So then I impress upon them that it's also part of the state code.
Yeah, it's not quite so simple.
And that takes precedence over city code, and they refuse to incorporate or enforce those things. If you call them about parking or ramp, they're not going to do anything. As a matter of fact, with parking, they refer you to Disability Rights Ohio. So.
And this has come up on specific project sites over the last few years during commission meetings that Commissioner Lyons brought up in his district and beyond.
I have a question. Are you referring to, as far as enforcing handicap parking spaces that they won't require businesses to put them in.
So,
But you would still be ticketed if somebody parked in a handicap spot.
well, part of the problem is there's 4 definitions of handicap parking in city code. You know, they don't enforce any of them. So under federal law, you have to have a certain signage, and the city will not incorporate that into the code section. So therefore, it's not enforceable. So the officers can't write if you just have my picture painted on a pavement, you know, that's not a handicap parking space. It also has to have a sign. And so that's one of the things we run into is, you know, they're not enforcing businesses to put up signs or the proper markings and things. So it's unenforceable. And and then, you know, with this zoning requirements where you don't even have to have parking, you know, so it takes that out altogether.
Any additional questions from neighbors or commissioners before we move more for the agenda? We'll post the survey. I think when it first opened, we posted it to our feed and our website, but we'll do that again as a reminder for folks.
Do you have a cushion chair?
Sure.
Where is it?
You can ask a question, absolutely.
No, I need a cushion chair.
Oh, I don't think we have.
Well, I can sit on the goddamn floor. Damn it. I can't take this.
I apologize. We can
Well, it's
check
not-
with the
it's not your
library
fault.
about future meetings.
All right, thank you. By the way, young man, have you ever thought of acupuncture for your situation? I don't even know what's wrong.
If you want to have a personal conversation, I have
We
it.
got-
All right,
we got
all right,
it for our
fine,
time.
thank you.
Thank you so much for being here this evening.
Well, I'm sitting on the goddamn floor. Oh, pardon my French.
Okay, thank you for your time on this. We are moving on to Sustainable Columbus. Ms. Brooke White here. Okay, great.
Hi, I have a couple slides. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
Well, good evening, everybody. Very happy to be here with you. So I just want to talk you through a process that we're going through now through Sustainable Columbus. My name is Brooke White. I'm the Climate Planning Manager for the City of Columbus. I'm quite new to the city, so I haven't met a lot of you, even some of the folks who are from the city here in this room. But I'm excited to be here to talk to you about our update of the Climate Action Plan. You can go ahead and the next slide. So I just first wanted to have a little slide about the fact that we are experiencing climate change right now in the city of Columbus. And you can see this in a number of ways. Many of you have experienced this in your lives. So we're seeing increased high precipitation events. You know, the days when we just get a huge dump of rain, there's way too much water, our systems can't handle that. So we're seeing increased flooding. We're also seeing droughts. Last summer we had a really major drought. We're also seeing increased heat. I think we're feeling that a lot this summer too. We did an urban heat island study, really looking at the differences in temperature between neighborhoods to really understand how this is impacting our residents. So that's another way that we're seeing the impacts of climate change. And the wildfire smoke that we all experienced a few years ago is yet another example of one of these kind of indirect but very distinct. We're experiencing this in our everyday lives. So just wanted to highlight that to kind of bring home the reality of what we're dealing with. Thank you. So we have a climate action plan. This is the pillar for Sustainable Columbus and all the work that we are doing. So the existing climate action plan was created in 2021. And we now have the opportunity to update this plan and renew our commitment to climate action. So we're really remaining committed to those climate goals. This plan not only covers city government operations, it covers the entire city. So everybody living, doing business, everything in the city of Columbus. And so we're really focused on creating programs and policies that help us to work on our climate actions. And we're also getting out there and working with communities and with youth, doing education, and making sure that we're bringing the best benefit to all the neighborhoods, all the communities across the city. So we have two major climate goals in our plan right now. The first is our near-term goal, and that's reducing overall greenhouse gas emissions that are coming from all the activity within the city by 45% by 2030. Our longer term goal is shooting to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 100% by 2050. So that's also called becoming carbon neutral or carbon neutrality. So those are our two big focuses within our plan. So how do we achieve those big goals in the timeline that we have? We have a number of climate actions that are embedded into the plan itself. So this is really like the meat and the potatoes of the plan. We have two different types of actions. One of the types of actions is really looking at how do we reduce these greenhouse gas emissions? How do we stop contributing to climate change as a city and as a community? The other type of action that we have is actions that help think about how we can adapt our communities to the coming impacts of climate change, flooding, heat, drought. So we have both types of actions, and they cover a number of different sectors, we call them. The three major sources of greenhouse gases coming from the city are coming from our energy use in buildings, so electricity, natural gas, other fuels in buildings, transportation, always one of the hardest nuts to crack in a city like Columbus, as well as waste. And so we're looking at these actions, we're looking at our ambition for these actions and how we can update to align with where we're at in 2025. So the Columbus Climate Action Plan was always intended to be a living document. And so there's always been a plan to update the plan every 5 years and do a full revision every 10 years. So this is the 5th year. So we get to update this year in 2025, and then we will do a full revision in 2030. And a lot of the focus of this is just keeping us on track to achieve our 2030 and our 2050 overall emissions reduction goals. So I don't have my survey up quite yet. I wanted to make sure I got in and got a chance to talk to all of you and didn't miss you during our outreach period. I think a lot of the area commissions take a break in August, so I wanted to get in here, but I will have a survey up soon. And as well as other materials. So I will be following up later to share a link to that survey because we really want to hear from folks about how we're doing this update. And so two of the key elements for how we're updating this plan are really looking at the ambition, the level of ambition for each of those climate actions and making sure that then we have the numbers right so that we can reach our 2030 goals. And then also, a lot has changed. We just heard about Zone In. We have some major programs and policies that have been put into place that are really helping to push forward action on climate change. And so we're reviewing the contents of the plan and making sure we're aligning with where we are now and the success and progress that we've seen and any challenging areas as well. So I wanted to just mention a number of some of the big programs that we're seeing coming out that really impact some of the different areas of the Climate Action Plan, and that we'll be revising the plan to reflect where we're at and where we're moving forward from. So we just heard about Zone In. Zone In is amazing. It's going to help us look at more or have more walkable communities and focus more on public transit. So that's really a huge piece of the issue. And that comes in our plan in sustainable neighborhoods where we look at wanting to increase development in walkable neighborhoods. Under transportation, we have Link Us and Bike Plus. I'm sure most of you have heard of a lot of these programs. Link Us really driving an increase in transit and access to transit, increase of 45% service from CODA. Bike Plus, upwards of 500 miles of new bikeways planned. So really helping to access different modes of transportation to help us to get away from fossil fuel cars, trucks. In terms of buildings, there's a really exciting commercial benchmarking program going on where commercial buildings above a certain size, above a certain square footage, are required to report their energy usage and their water usage. And this really just helps us get a sense. If you don't have the data, you don't know where the problems lie. So it really gives us a sense of what buildings really need to work on their energy and their water use. And like I said, this is one of the major sources of emissions in the city's buildings. So this is a fantastic program that's really going to help us learn about what that looks like in our city and how we can support those buildings to help drive down their energy use and water use and their emissions. In terms of waste, we're pushing forward to really address food waste. When food waste goes to the landfill, it turns into methane. As it decomposes, it's a really strong greenhouse gas. So we're trying to figure out different ways that we can address that There are, I believe, 9 food waste drop-offs across the city. So really kind of looking forward to like how do we step forward there and put our best foot forward. In terms of the tree canopy, this was included in the climate action plan last time around, but it was more that adaptation piece. You know, we want tree canopy to create shade to keep us from being even hotter as a city, to really help drive down the urban heat island effect. But this year, we actually are going to include the tree canopy in our calculations of greenhouse gas emissions, because the trees will suck down the carbon dioxide out of the air, helping us relieve some of the amount of greenhouse gases that we're emitting. And so that's an exciting extra way to emphasize the importance of that tree canopy in our city in terms of our progress towards climate action. So one of the main things that we'll be asking about in our survey is how ambitious do we need to be for all of these different climate actions? And as you can imagine, we kind of have to have the numbers balance out correctly to make sure that we're on track to meet that 2030 goal. But we can prioritize amongst these different actions to achieve our goals. And so we're looking at increasing development density, renewable energy, how we're focusing on installing solar across the city, water and energy efficiency in our buildings, how we're bringing in zero emission vehicles, electric vehicles, how we're really incentivizing people not to drive alone, increasing public transit use, increasing recycling, getting those recyclables out of our landfills, food and organic waste also not going to landfills, and then also bringing in this emphasis on a citywide tree canopy and how we really boost that over time. So in this survey, you will be able to share your thoughts on where we should be prioritizing amongst these actions, and really seeing the numbers that we're putting in terms of boosting ambition on all these. And I do want to say we're not stepping back on ambition in any of these. Our focus is on how we are boosting these and how we're prioritizing amongst them to boost that ambition. Another thing I wanted to mention, so right now we are updating our Columbus Climate Action Plan. So our plan covers Columbus proper. There's also a really fantastic effort that I'm also involved in right now to create a Central Ohio Climate Action Plan. So this extends outside of the city, and it covers the Columbus metropolitan statistical area. So it also covers surrounding counties as well. You can see them in kind of like the lime green in the middle there. So this is being developed right now. It's a pretty exciting effort. It's the first time we've had something like this in Central Ohio. So you can also check out the website for that, and we'll be having other meetings on the Central Ohio Climate Action Plan development as well. So just wanted to let you know that that's also happening. So again, I will be following up with links to surveys and other materials for you to learn more about this process. But thank you very much. My contact information there is there if you want to reach out at a later date.
Thank you so much. And we're happy to promote the survey on our website and all our social media pages. Are you all having a booth at ArborFest? Do you happen to know? And I feel like you are. If not, I feel like Green Team will probably reach out and I'll share your contact info with the chair.
Yeah, so I need to coordinate with the other folks. So we definitely have Sustainable Columbus tables a lot of the different festivals. I need to talk to Christy Walters, who runs Green Spot.
Just felt so.
Definitely. Once we have those materials, I'll be sharing them with her also to get out at all the different festivals. So.
Okay. Any other questions from other commissioners?
Maybe you can give this presentation to the Department of Public Service.
I'm very fond of a number of our colleagues within waste and transportation. So the great work
the
that
trees.
Yeah, the city is big. The city government is big and everything. Yes. I hear you.
It's worth a try.
I have a question. How do you measure a 45% reduction in greenhouse gas? And do you know what percentage we're at in 2025?
Yeah, so the way that we measure that, so every year we do a greenhouse gas inventory, which basically involves looking at each of kind of those sectors, so waste, transportation, energy use in buildings, water treatment, wastewater treatment, basically anywhere that you're using greenhouse gases or you have another process that or where you're using fossil fuels or we have another process like decay of organic matter in landfills that produce greenhouse gases. And so we collect data. Actually, the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission does this for us every year. Collect data, reaching out to the utilities, reaching out to SWACO, and getting those numbers on the tons of waste and the kilowatt hours of energy used. And so we do that every year. It's this kind of like accounting that we do each year, and we're able to track that way. I'm trying to remember the number right now. I think we are on par somewhere between 17 to 20%. So, yes.
When did that start? I guess when was that 2030, the 2030 goal set?
So when was it? So it was originally set in 2021 in the 2021 plan, but it is measured from 2013. So it's using data from 2013. So that's like our baseline year. So we're looking to reduce emissions with respect to how much we emitted in 2013. If that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Any other commissioner questions? Any questions from neighbors? Well, thank you so much for being here. We look forward to promoting the survey. Next up is Darien Blackwell with the Compost Exchange. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi guys, my name is Darien Blackwell. I'm the communications manager for the Compost Exchange. We are a food scrap recycling service for residents and businesses in Central Ohio. Clintonville does an amazing job of using our services. You may have seen some of our signature yellow buckets on people's yards. These are actually upcycled pickle buckets from restaurants around town, so that's really cool. Today I really wanted to talk to you guys about having a pilot program in Clintonville, trying to expand our membership in Clintonville. You guys do an amazing job. We also service a lot of your businesses around here, like Virtue, Rewash. We're at all of your farmers markets, but we still want to expand here. But that's kind of why I'm here. But before I go into more detail about what our business does and what we do, I kind of wanted to go into the bigger issue, which is climate change. Brooke kind of hit on that earlier. That's why I'm very fueled to do my job, because I'm scared of climate change, okay? It's getting so scary. I can't even emphasize that enough. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so we see more frequent hurricanes, droughts around the country. Columbus is one of the fastest growing heat islands. It's very scary, which is why I
call it a heat island.
Yes, it's a heat island.
What does that mean?
It means it's getting hot in Columbus really, really fast. It's way too hot.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, food waste, some people don't know the importance of food waste reduction. When you throw that half a sandwich away into the landfill, it gets buried. And then bad bacteria comes and decomposes it underground in an anaerobic process, and that lets off methane. And methane is 25 times more potent than CO2, which is why it's so important to reduce methane. And that's why composting is really great. Now, in Franklin County, we produce 1 million pounds of food waste every single day. That's really insane. That's crazy. Now, some people can compost at home. Okay, this is definitely something you can do at home, in your own backyard, but not everyone has the time or the energy to turn your pile and stuff, and that's where we come in. So we service residents, like I said, all throughout Central Ohio. I'm actually one of the route drivers, so I go to about 200 to 300 homes a day, servicing everybody's bucket. And I do know that there are a lot of drop-offs popping up around Columbus, but take it from somebody who picks up these buckets 200 times a day. That stuff gets heavy and it's not convenient. I don't want to drop it off all the time. And it's especially good when you're trying to adapt a new behavior. You need to make it easy for people to do these things, which is why we have the curbside service, and that's my job. We also service businesses, like I said. We take hair from Virtue Vegan Hair Salon. We work with Rewash, what a great company that is. We work with a lot of coffee shops. We work with Campbell Mitchell restaurants, but again, we're just trying to expand in Clintonville 100%. Yeah, the purpose of today was to show the pilot. I need support promoting a pilot program where people can try our services out for 4 weeks for free to see how easy it is to compost. You're already throwing away your food scraps and we're asking you to put it in a different bucket. That's all you're doing. We collect those items, make sure those things stay out of the landfill and into a compost pile. What the next slide was.
Have you heard of Isha Yoga? Huh? Have you heard of Isha Yoga?
No, I have not.
We've been doing this for 20 years already.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, thank you.
Superstar.
Oh no, don't go there.
But yeah, our impact, 100,000 pounds of food waste diverted every month, over 1 million pounds of food scraps diverted every year. Now that's not that impressive because like I said, 1 million pounds of food scraps goes to the landfill every day. So we do have a long way to go, but there is an impact. Also, all of our members do get a little individual environmental impact report so people can actually see what they're doing and how it's actually making a difference.
I thought you were going to home and
Excuse
picking
me,
up.
please let us move through our agenda, thank you.
So, like I said, how it works, people get this yellow bucket. It's labeled with what you can and cannot compost. We do take meats, bones, and dairy, things you can't normally compost at home. Our piles get hot enough to decompose everything. That's processed food. That's every single piece of food you do not want to eat. I cannot stress that enough. It comes with a compostable liner, so then I take out the bag and I give you a new one every single week. We try to line it up with your trash and recycling day, just so all of your trash goes out on one day. Don't even think about it. That's all you guys have to do. So we do take it to a few different places. We take it to a composting facility in London, Ohio, and then we also take it to a couple farmers that we partner with in Plain City and West Jefferson. What's really cool about that is that they turn your food scraps into compost, and then they grow their own produce with it, and then bring that back into the farmers markets, and it's really that nice, cool food cycle closure, which is super nice. Also, all of our members do get compost back because you are composting, so you deserve the outcome of it. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but I love my job. I love what we're doing. You can go to the next slide. But yeah, again, we really want to bring a citywide composting pilot to Clintonville, but I just need some help with promoting it. We do the meta ads, we put up flyers everywhere, but I think this message would be received a lot better by Clintonville residents when it comes from people that they trust and people that they know already. And I know it gets tricky because we are a for-profit. It's for profit, this is my job. I know it gets tricky, but any advice or any support on this would mean a lot. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming and sharing all this information. Definitely see the yellow buckets all over my part of the neighborhood and at the farmers market every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
If you haven't yet, I would definitely really strongly recommend reaching out to the Clintonville Area Business Association. Mm-hmm. If you just Google it, I think it's info@clintonvilleba.com. Nancy Kuehl is the executive director. She's fantastic, and she would be a great resource, I think, to your efforts. And then as far as like 100% adoption, Clintonville, we're technically a neighborhood of the city of Columbus, so citywide would be much broader than just us. So I think you should talk to folks in the city as well. But we're able to post and share information and
that would be great.
Neighbors, yeah.
It's hopefully to come in the middle of September. We're also working with other places like Westerville and Oaktown East and Powell at the same time. So when it comes to that, I'm really looking for you guys' support on spreading the message on this pilot program.
Yeah, and then in addition to the Area Commission, we mentioned earlier, our Green Team is a committee of the Area Commission, and they've got a really strong social media following and are very active in events too. So we'll make sure that you're connected with those guys as well.
Yes, please do.
Can I give the bucket to me?
Do we have questions from any other commissioners for Darian?
I have a question about the process. So you pick it up each week, whether it's full or not, just however much is in there?
Yeah, absolutely. Does not need to be full. I picked up one the other day and it just had a singular hot dog in it, so everything counts. So yes, if it's out, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna service your bucket. Yes.
Does it come with a lid?
Yes, it does. Yeah, this is the only one I had in my car today. So, but yes, it does. So, smell isn't bad or anything like that. So,
How do you get one?
you gotta sign up
Where?
at thecompostexchange.com.
I don't even know where the hell that is.
And so for the pilot program, you mentioned you could get 4 weeks free.
Yes.
So how would, if somebody signed up in Clintonville for that pilot program, how would that work?
So they would like either see it somewhere, either on an ad through you guys, Instagram, whatever. They sign up for it. They all start on the same day. Clintonville has pickup on Tuesday, I believe. And then that day that we all decide to start, everybody gets their bucket. They get instructions. They have their bucket, their liner, everything. And then we service them for 4 weeks. And at the end of the 4 weeks, they decide yes or no. No, we take away the bucket. Yes, great. You know.
So would we need to decide on a date, like when that pilot program would start for Clintonville?
I mean, if I had like all of your support, like, well, no, I would decide that, honestly.
Okay.
It's actually September 21st, I think, is when we're deciding to really launch that, so.
Okay, so if we communicate this to our neighbors and stuff, we would tell them, sign up for this starting September 1st?
Or before, sign up before September 21st, I think. I might be making that up. But yeah, sign up before this date, you'll get your bucket on this date, make your decision in 4 weeks. Just trying to make it, again, just as easy as possible.
And then we have to pay you to pick it up?
So how much would that cost then after the 4 weeks? And then, and also how often do you get compost back?
Yeah, so we have 2 different types of payment options. So you can do month to month, which comes out to be $23 every month, which is less than a tank of gas, just want to say that. And then if you really like it, if you really enjoy it, and you want to do the whole 6-month subscription, it comes out to be $19 a month. But you need to pay that up front, it's like $120. I don't feel comfortable paying $120 up front, so it's nice to have those 2 options. And then you get your compost. When you do the month to month one, $23, you can get it every month. If you do the 6 months, you can get it twice. But then after that, it's $5 a bag, which is a pretty good deal. It's 2 gallons of compost. So,
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions from commissioners? Any questions from neighbors? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nala Kovacs with AEP, welcome. Thanks for being here.
No,
Sure,
no.
yeah.
Okay.
Problem.
Yeah, damn. Where it changes. Beautiful hair. I'll take one. All right, we're talking about AEP. I thought they went out of business.
We could keep our crowd chatter to a minimum, please.
Yes, I am.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's in Columbus area.
Yep, of course it is, I'm so sorry.
It was like I couldn't find a flash drive, so
Yes,
my wedding photos, you can
100%.
go ahead.
No, I'm so sorry. I
you're
have
fine.
to open so many weird things up. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Nala Kovac, and I'm one of the External Affairs Managers with AEP Ohio. So I just want to do a quick update of just some changes and some things just going on with our business that may or may not be affecting some of our customers. So next slide, please. Just a quick agenda. So 1, just understanding your bill. 2, an initiative about power without interruptions. I'll talk a little about bill assistance, and then I'll open up for questions and answers. So before I get started with understanding the bill, I really like to use this slide to kind of just help to anchor everyone to then understand, exactly what you're paying for within your electric bill. So really quickly, this is just a step-by-step process of what's behind your outlet, how electricity gets into your homes and businesses. So first is going to be generation, so where electricity is being generated. Then it moves through our transmission lines. So there's going to be those high towers, high voltage lines. That then moved to substations within neighborhoods, and then moves into distribution lines, which are the small wooden or steel poles around your neighborhoods, and that's where we, AUP Ohio, that's our focus of the business. So we focus mostly in the neighborhoods, working on those distribution lines, and then into your homes and businesses. So like I said, I like to use that slide to kind of really help to understand the portions of the bill. So there's two main charges. One is your delivery charges, and the other is your supply charges. So your delivery is going to be your transmission and distribution charges, the cost of delivering your electricity, and then your generation or your supply charges, so the cost associated with generating your electricity. So there's been a couple changes within the bill that's happened in the springtime and I guess early summer as well. So the first is with the delivery charge. And so most customers saw, residential customers saw a decrease in that transmission charge of about $9 per month if using a typical residential customer is using about 1,000 kilowatts each month. So clearly that can go up and down depending on your usage in your home. But that transmission cost did decrease about $9 using that math. But on the other side, supply charges for customers that are on AEP Ohio's standard service offer increased about $23 a month in June. And so with the standard service offer, there is, well, let me back up a little bit. So state of Ohio, we are deregulated, so customers have the option to shop where their generation supplier is. As I mentioned earlier, AEP Ohio, we're just the wire-only customer, so we don't own any generation in Ohio. So it's a pass-through cost, a one-for-one that we just have on the bill, in addition to your delivery charges. So for customers that don't want to shop, don't feel comfortable shopping, they're automatically enrolled in what's called AEP Ohio Standard Service Offer. So that's essentially us going to the market on behalf of our customers to buy that generation supply for customers who don't want to shop. So for those that are who are on SSO, that increase, like I said, did take effect in the 1st of June. And that's just due to many different factors such as inflation. Again, it's kind of like a market system that we go towards for our customers. Versus for those that are on other providers, it clearly depends on kind of what your contract is and how that lies. Now, if you're looking at me like, I have no idea what you're talking about, I'm not even sure, like if I'm on SSO or if I'm on another supplier, the best way is to go home, go look at your bill. The one on the left-hand side, left-hand side for you all. If it's all on one table, so your transmission, your distribution, and your generation charges, that means that you're on the SSO through AEP Ohio. Versus if it's on the right-hand side, it shows 2 different tables. So you'll have, again, your transmission, your distribution charges in one table, and then the other table will be your generation charges will be separate. And usually it'll be like the supplier's name and logo also on the top of that as well. So that kind of equal to a net change of about $14 per month, again, for those that are on SSO. So moving on, I also want to talk about a new initiative that we started earlier this year called Power Without Interruptions. So this is specifically for customers, that are wanting to reduce the frequency and duration of power outages, particularly with circuits or essentially extensions of lines that we're seeing numerous outages throughout the year, and there's a couple of them that are in Clintonville that we have noticed and marked. So this is kind of just a step-by-step process, how we're using real live data to be able to determine kind of what's going on in the circuit, why are they seeing so many outages compared to other customers, and depending on what's going on, preparing a solution and then monitoring, reassessing through that way. So that can include replacements of equipment, animal mitigation, especially if you're in Clintonville with having nice mature trees, that can definitely be a huge occurrence, is having squirrels and other animals get into the lines and into our equipment, as well as just doing typical inspection repairs. So that other picture, that's just a circuit on the south side of Columbus, but again, just kind of shows how we're looking at all the different parts of the lines to make sure that, everyone is having power without interruptions. Like I said, there's several here in Clintonville that have identified having numerous outages compared to counterparts. And then lastly, before I open up for questions, I just want to talk over about different assistance programs, incentives, and energy efficiency tips. Clearly don't have all the time to go through every single one of these, but some that I want to call out that are new. The first one is our HELP program, or High Efficiency for Low Income program. And I actually have a couple flyers here too that I can leave at the table as well. But this program started, like I said, early January. And this is a new program that helps customers that are income eligible to be able to get energy efficient upgrades to their home. So it could be LED lighting, insulation, new appliances. It really depends on what's going on within the home. So ideally that they're saving money on their electric bill to then be more comfortable in their house. And like I said, there's all the details kind of more on this flyer. Another program I want to mention is our average monthly payment, or AM for short, and that is for anyone can enroll. There's no income eligibility for that one. It really helps to take, for those that are on a budget, take a 12-month rolling basis on their utility bill instead of usually seeing like high spikes in the summertime or in the winter when you're using typically the most energy. It kind of helps levels it out on a monthly basis. You're maybe seeing like, you know, go up between $5 up and down each month instead of, like I said, those big spikes. Another program I want to mention under incentives is our Power Rewards Smart Thermostat program. This is also new. That started in January. So for those that have a smart thermostat, they can sign up those Power Rewards, and they can automatically adjust your thermostat when it's in high demand to help save energy, and as well as you get a $50 incentive each year to do that. If you don't have a smart thermostat, there's also another program that you can get a rebate, instant rebate for about $75, or it is $75. You to get a smart thermostat to participate in the program for then that $50 incentive. And then as well as just some quick energy efficiency tips. So it's in the height of summer, so your AC unit is going to be the biggest user of your electricity. So even putting it up a few degrees can make a big difference within your utility bill. But this is all on our website as well as energy efficiency tips for both the summer and the winter too. So that's all I have. If any questions, I know it's kind of a lot of information. I want to be cognizant of time.
How come you don't do that automatically?
We're going to start with questions from
I'm
commissioners.
sorry.
Thank you. Any questions from commissioners?
No, thank you.
Did you have a question?
How come you don't do that automatically for the people?
Do what
Do
automatically?
the first thing.
The help program, so
Yes.
it's a new program that just got started in January.
Oh.
And so it is income eligible. It's kind of based on how many people are in the household and so forth. But we work with Impact Community Action, which is a great nonprofit. So they have someone come into the home, assess it, again, depending on what the needs could be in the home. And also if you rent, you just need approval from your landlord as well to be able to access that way. So it just kind of depends on what's going on at home, but it could be multiple upgrades and so forth.
Any other questions from neighbors? Is it okay if I save the PDF for our minutes?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
great. I promise that's the only thing.
No.
Well,
It's like when you don't have a flash drive, and I was like, I'll just use my wedding one. It's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll leave these flyers at the table for anyone that wants to take in as well. Absolutely.
And let me pull this out before I forget.
Well done, huh? Oh, shit.
Thank you so much. Great. We have Vice Chair Hopp here from Zoning and Variance to share our update. Thanks so much for filling in for Chair Hardwick.
Yes, thank you very much. I am Michael Haw. I am the Vice Chair of the Zoning and Variance Committee. Chair Hardwick couldn't be with us this evening, so he asked me to come and present for him instead. At our June 25th meeting, we had two items on our agenda. The first was BZA 25-051 for 260 West Kenworth, and the applicant was seeking a variance to construct a garage and increase the area of the garage from a 720 square foot to 968 square foot. Is the applicant present? Maybe you can make a few brief statements and comments about your project for the commission. Thank you.
I'm Scott Clement-Smith. I'm the builder, or would be the builder, I guess. So my client is looking at taking a detached garage on their property and basically filling in the blank between the detached garage and the house by way of a narrow breezeway and then a new 2-car garage. So there'll be a total of 4-car garage. The new 2-car garage is directly behind the home. So if you're out on the street looking directly at the property, you'll never see the new car garage. You'll only see a small portion of the existing.
What address is this?
Please save public comment for after.
I don't understand.
It's listed, it's 260 West Kenworth. The address is right on the.
Okay, I didn't see it. I can't see.
Okay, thank you. Please continue.
Thank you.
Able to go now?
Yes, absolutely.
So at any rate, looking at connecting the detached garage with the house by way of a narrow breezeway that will be conditioned as part of the house, and then the new 2-car garage. And according to folks that I'm working with at Columbus Zoning, we just had one variance that was on the application, which was basically the square footage of the total of the garages exceeds what's in the zoning regulation.
And the commissioners received the minutes from zoning and hearings. Thank you for
There were several comments from the committee on this one. There were questions significant questions around the requirement for a rear yard reduction setback variance. Since they are proposing to connect the garage to the existing primary dwelling, that then makes it one single dwelling, and it would be very little to no area behind the rear garage. And that was a concern for the committee. The applicant was advised by Chair Hardwick to seek input from the city on the requirement for this variance. The committee did recommend this application for approval by a vote of 6-0 with 1 abstention, and it was Diane Hayford abstained due to lack of information on the requirement for a rear yard reduction.
Would you like me to respond to
Please.
that?
Sure, yeah.
So yes, I did reach out to Adam on that, and he indicated that this has been looked at several times, and he said there's no other variance that would be needed, nothing else in the code that would indicate that there'd be a problem. I think the concern came up because the existing garage is pretty much right on the property line.
Correct.
But according to Adam, that's all legal within our zoning.
And just to clarify, Adam is with the city.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
just so
Sorry.
no, that's okay. Okay, are there questions or discussion among commissioners about 260 West Kenworth? Commissioner Moritz?
I have a question. So I didn't see a plan for what it would look like in the materials.
Yeah, I brought some if you'd like to look at it. So I've got the site plan here where the new garage will go, and then some pictures showing the existing home, and then the shaded sections with the different elevations. There is no south elevation on here primarily because you'll never see it from the street. You have to walk into the rear of the property.
While we pass those around, are there additional questions from neighbors?
What do you think?
Please.
In the absence of there being a District 2 commissioner, my first question is, how many of you went and visited the site? Did any of you even drive by it? Did any of you talk to the neighbors? Because I talked to 2 of the neighbors today, and neither of them had been notified of this question being raised, aside from the front yard sign, you know. And the one was like, well, I don't like that, and the other one goes, yeah. And I asked some questions, they're like, well, what do you mean there's no backyard? It's all gonna be paved. So what happens to stormwater runoff? And it's ironic that tonight we hear about, you know, heat islands and trees and green space and da-da-da, and this is a question that comes to us tonight. And as a certain commissioner always wants us to be on our bicycles, actually, we don't know who that is, Mark. But this is 4-car garage, and in the statement is about getting cars off the street. And okay, I have a 1-car garage, and we have 2 cars, and in order to facilitate that, so that we can enjoy 2 cars, we have found off-site parking. We have a neighbor who doesn't have a car. So if you have more cars than your property can support, yeah, there's options. So the hardship or the need for 4 garage spaces is created by want, not by need. And the rear yard thing, I would be very concerned about, because I believe there's power lines through there, and that's an AEP easement. And, so having the whole 50 feet of garage across the back of a 50-foot wide property is somewhat concerning. Now, when it comes to the question of, can they be, the only question you have to answer is the setback, right? So, but just take into consideration what you're doing here.
I have a question for you, just to clarify, what did you say the neighbors were not notified of?
They were not notified of this variance at all. I assume that it is still standard procedure that all adjacent property owners need to be notified.
Correct. Commissioner Hardwick, or Chair Hardwick mails notifications to all neighbors within a certain distance. He did not receive feedback from any.
The one directly across the street did not receive notice.
Well, I know Chair
For
Hardwick
the record, I did provide all the addresses based on the city zoning.
Right.
So we followed through on the protocol.
You did your part, but the neighbors and,
Well, I appreciate your comments, and I can't speak to their mail checking processes, but I've worked with, I've worked with Chair Hardwick now for many years, and he has never not mailed notices out, so I want to be very careful about it.
He's not perfect.
No one is perfect, Mr. Bro. Does the applicant have any other comments on public
Yeah, I'm
feedback?
here to answer anything you'd like. I will tell you just a little bit about my background. I'm not the architect for this, but my father was an architect for 54 years. And as a builder, I usually get a little bit more involved than just bidding on a set of plans, because growing up with an architect for a father, I have a great appreciation for it. And so whenever I look at a project, and I know this architect very well, he's a personal friend of mine, we spend a lot of time collaborating back and forth on what's going to work well for the neighborhood. We don't ever want to take away from the character, the street, curb appeal. And so there was a lot of effort taken to carefully look at that, and then also consider my clients, their needs or wants, and we can always argue that, but what their overall plan would be, why they want this. And so we do our best to try to satisfy everybody. Can't always accomplish that, but we try, and I try to be open to the community too.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Hope you can answer. So when we consider variances, we do look at hardship.
Right.
And so I was wondering, can you explain what the hardship is?
Well, I think that this family has an interest in vehicles. They like to garage the vehicles, get them off the street, get them out of the driveway. I think that there's a desire that when they move into this community, knowing that other people in Columbus have the same type of setup. And so I think that they had a strong appeal to the neighborhood and would like to do what other people have done. So when you think about hardship, my wife does have cancer, that's a hardship, okay? But is it a hardship? No. It's something that they're desiring and they're trying to be tasteful, about it for the community. I think would probably be the most appropriate answer.
Any other questions from commissioners? We'll go ahead and vote. Commissioner Moritz.
I vote no, because it takes up the whole lot, certainly a relatively small yard, will does not fit with the character according to the neighborhood plan.
Commissioner Miller.
I would also vote no for the same reasons.
Commissioner Lotta.
No.
Commissioner Whitman.
No.
And I will vote yes in observation of the committee's recommendation and their work on this project. We will submit a standardized recommendation in form as is processed to City Council, and as you know, City Council has the opportunity to have a different vote than the Area Commission does, so this is not necessarily over. And we will likely get, just so Commissioner Moritz knows, since you're the submitter, we will likely get a call from City Council about why our vote was a no and why we are incongruous with our Zoning and Variance Committee recommendation as well. So thank you for coming this evening, and perhaps looking forward to more conversations. Appreciate your time. Vice Chair Hogg, would you like to move on to our Richards Road applicants?
Yes, our second application was for BZA 25-055, 21 Richards Road, to construct a 540 square foot room addition to the rear of the house. The applicant seeks the following variances. Minimum side yard permitted to reduce the eastern side yard from 5 feet to 3 feet, and for maximum side yards required to reduce the total side yard from 12 foot 5 inches to 9 feet. Is the applicant present? Yes. Okay. Make a statement to the commission.
I'll just make a correction. My name is Tony Kozak, the architect on the job, representing the owner of the ground use. The variance was 13'2", and that's the required, and we're looking for 12 foot. So basically reduction for 1'2". I have drawings, like you pass it now. The purpose of this addition is fill in the blank between the single family house and the detached garage, basically 540 square feet in between. The applicant is, and their family is growing and trying to get more use and more functionality out of their house, because they love them, go and stay here, and 1,200 square feet for a growing family is doing the job, and also more use out of their detached garage and attaching it. Sort of the reasons for variance is it's a regular site in terms of the lot. The first variance, in the addition, we try to be very respectful, especially in terms of proportionality and roof peaks, making sure it doesn't peak above. It pretty much blends in. You can't even see it from Richards Road. And the setbacks, especially. When attaching, obviously the reason the setbacks come into play is the detached garage that is currently built has a 3 foot setback, and when attaching requires a 5 foot. That's 3332.26, and the other variance we're looking for is 3332.25, and that's basically obviously the addition of both side yards, that 13'2" number that we end up being at 12 foot. And again, the restraints are mostly because of the existing house, and in terms of building this addition that the owners are looking to see in terms of more usability out of their house.
I represent District 5. I've not received any correspondence about this project from any of my neighbors 2 blocks away on Richards Road. Do any commissioners have questions? I'm sorry, Vice Chair.
That's quite all right.
Please.
I will say that this application was recommended for approval by a vote of 7-0. 3 committee members had comments to add to their votings, which were all very similar, that this was an odd-shaped lot bordering on an alley, and that the existing or the new setback lines for the buildings would be consistent with the existing. So they expressed their opinion that was consistent with the requirements for the variance.
Thank you. I'm sorry if I dropped there. Any additional questions or comments from the commission?
Is that a 1-car garage?
Yes.
I have a question. There is power lines that run down the alley, right?
They run down the alley, yes. And we've tucked this back, so obviously, in terms of construction, be very careful to not to talk to the contractor about that.
I just wasn't sure if the setback would encroach on any easement that with power.
From what I've seen in terms of the easement that is there, it sort of runs along the line. We've cut back from it. You can sort of see it on the diagonal there from the alley.
How will that affect the house next door, south of that?
Honestly, it shouldn't be able to be seen. It's tucked in between, further than the garage. So south of that, basically you won't really be able to see half of it.
Any other questions from commissioners or neighbors? All right, we'll go ahead.
If addition of 540 square foot, that's gonna
increase the population of the home. And we already have an existing situation where we have insufficient parking. You know, I didn't ask to park on the street, and apparently they've taken offense to that. And if I find out if I'm 6 foot from the curb cut on someone's driveway, I'm gonna be ticketed. I find out if I do yard work and my trailer tire is on the curb because I try to keep it away from the middle of the street, but being on the curb rewards me with a ticket from the city of Columbus. I have a car there that is parked more than 48 hours. We have people who call the police department immediately on the 45th hour. They come out and ticket the car. So we're battling a place to park our vehicles. We live across the street, and you know, if we have if they're coded, they're willing to call code enforcement to make sure that we're parked on a paved surface. We had a dentist who lives across the street that we allow him to park in our side yard, which is on grass beside the garage, but he's not allowed to park there now. And the dentist is, we've been letting him park there for years. So I just think that we have a big parking issue there. And especially they're the ones that are provoking it. They call the city anytime that there's any sort of violation. And I just feel that adding more square footage, adding more people, adding more cars, and is just going to complicate the problem for the rest of the neighbors.
Thank you very much for your comments. I think this is a single family home, so I don't know that occupancy will be rising with this outside of maybe small children.
Yes, with small children, certainly no more cars.
It looks like the addition is just for a kitchen and a family room. So
Yes.
you're not adding a bedroom.
Not a bedroom, basically that their existing space or kitchen especially is accommodating, and especially in terms of more living space, so the CAC's function. Bedroom space for now is accommodating enough, but just too cramped and conservative.
Well, in the beginning you said the family was growing, that's why that goes apart. I don't know where you changed it there, but
I mean, the family's growing, but
okay, well, and that means more people.
Yeah, but I mean,
He's 9 months old, he's not really driving anytime.
Oh, maybe he will, goddammit.
Well, there's many parties.
Comments, civil, please.
I work security at Ohio State. I come home, the whole yard's full of people. There's football, OSU party after party. I mean, it's not like it's a quiet little place.
Thank you for your comments. Do we
You're
have
welcome.
any other comments?
Yeah, that's my neighbor, goddammit. I don't want any.
Please refrain from.
All right.
On us. Thank you.
I'm tired of it.
Thank you for your comments.
I want them not to be able to do this.
Thank you. Do we have any other comments from neighbors this evening?
What?
I asked whether we had comments from other neighbors this
Oh,
evening.
okay. Well, there are no other neighbors. No, they're across the street.
Okay. We're
Well,
going to.
we have a brother that owns the property too, that is right in that, so we have 3 in that area that all get affected by the lack of parking and their control of the parking space in front of the home.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead.
can I note one thing?
Sure, and then we really need to vote so we can get through our agenda.
Okay, this is for more use to take cars off the road, and the next door neighbor, as I put in the note, is right at the front accepting that is the most affected neighbor next door. Very much on board for this addition.
What
next door are you talking about?
Commissioner Moritz, please go ahead with your vote.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Lotta.
Yes.
Commissioner Wyman.
Yes.
And I am also a yes. Congratulations on your project.
Oh, shit!
Excuse me.
God damn
Remain
it!
civil
That's
during
my
the meeting.
house!
Thank you.
That's a fact that not yours! God damn it!
Thank you.
Yeah! Get those goddamn dogs out of there too! I can't even walk past them!
Okay.
Yeah, did you tell them about that?
Excuse
big
me.
dogs!
We will need to leave the room.
No, I want them to understand what the hell I'm going through.
We have updates from the city council's office and the city's Department of Neighborhoods that.
What about those dogs?
Excuse me. Please.
I want those dogs out of there! I can't even walk down the goddamn alley with my baby. Yes, I know, you're sick of me. It's okay, but I'm telling you the goddamn truth.
Thank you. We have a room full of neighbors that also have.
Well, they
issues
better
this evening.
talk up.
Would the representatives from the city like to please come forward with your comments from your presentation? Thank you.
I'll keep it brief because I did email the announcements to all of you. A lot of it is just really area commission things.
What are you talking about?
What, me?
Yes!
I am Stacy Biddle. I am with the Department of Neighborhoods. I'm neighborhood liaison for Clinton.
What's this update from Columbus Gas? What's that about?
She's trying to
That's
provide
what-
it right now. She's trying to
All
provide
right,
the
all
update
right,
right now.
sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so things for the general public. The mayor's office is having a capital budget town hall meeting, a series of them. The town halls will take place next week on July 15th, 16th, and 17th. You can find it on their website. You do.
I don't have a goddamn computer!
I can print out a flyer and deliver it.
Thank you.
All right, I'll meet with you after. That was okay. Deer surveys going on. I think we're about halfway through. We have about 2,700 responses.
What's that mean? I don't understand. With deer?
Deer, yes.
God.
Yes. If you have not participated yet, I have hot cards up here that you are more than welcome to take one. Slap that QR code and please get your input regarding your experiences with our four-legged
Oh
neighbors.
yeah, I've seen them, yeah. You're right.
They're very popular in Clintonville. That's it. For everything else was area commission. So in order to save time, I can't then give the floor to city council. Unless anyone has some questions.
Deer.
Yes, ma'am.
On the deer survey, I know like the CAC posted it on their website and stuff, and that's how I found the link. Did you guys send it out and like were those cards mailed or anything? So I'm talking to a lot of neighbors, they didn't even know that there was a deer survey.
You are more than welcome to take as many as you can. Feasibly mailing every single club's resident a card would probably not look good.
Where else was it distributed?
A lot on Facebook, a lot on social media, through the city council pages, through Department of Neighborhood pages. It was in the news. It was on all the news stations.
I don't have a goddamn TV.
It might be worth leaving a stack of flyers at the library too here, I think. Yeah.
Not a problem. But I'll leave those here and then whatever is like
Yeah, I'll take three.
Completed lesson.
Here, I'll pass them around.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ms. Michelle, would you like to share updates from City Council?
Deer survey? Oh, shit.
All right.
Oh, where is it?
Excuse me, we're moving on to our next presenter.
Start back here when you guys go up.
Good evening. My name is Suzanne Chow. I am your liaison of Columbus City Council, and I actually do have a lot of updates. So sorry in advance. First, I'd like to start with our Summer Splash series that the council members are doing. It's just a great way that the members can engage with not only our residents, but the kids as well, as it's summer break. And it's really hot, so a lot of people are going to the pool. Several of our members are hosting their Summer Splash series at some local community pools and handing out popsicles, and it's just a great time to kind of meet your member. As you're just out there with your kids, you might spot one with out there as well. So we actually do have one tomorrow. It's at Windsor Pool, which is about 15 minutes from here. And it's from 2 to 3:30 p.m. It's being hosted by Councilmember Nick Bankston and Councilmember Emmanuel Remy. So we would love to see you guys there. If you're there with your kids, just feel free to say hi and get a popsicle. If you're taking your kids out to go swim tomorrow.
Where is it?
This is at Windsor Pool.
I don't know where that is.
It's 1300 Windsor Avenue.
What the hell does that mean?
That's the
Please be
address.
respectful to our guests.
Oh, I'm sorry. What part of town?
Yes, it's about 15 minutes
Linden.
from here. Yeah.
Linda? I don't even know where that is.
Okay, well.
Okay, thank you.
I can help you find the area.
I don't think I'm gonna go, thank you.
Okay. Next update that I have is Columbus City Council is also opening up our internship applications. So if you know any juniors or seniors in college or first-year graduate students, we are accepting applications until Wednesday, August 6th, with notification beginning at the end of August. We are paying $17 an hour and offering up to 20 hours a week. In all of our different council offices, so not just the member offices, but also in our community engagement office, where I have the pleasure of working, our legislative research office, and our clerk's office as well. I will say I used to intern for the city in 2017. They were not paying me $17 an hour. So this is great news to me.
Do you have an application?
I do not have a physical one with me, but I can get one to you.
Thank you.
We'll talk. Yes,
Thank
ma'am. So yes, if you know of any college students who would like to have a fall internship, please direct them to cityofcolumbus.gov or our website.
Computer!
Or our social media at columbus.gov, or our social media at City of Columbus.
Yeah, you need a goddamn computer!
And all the information is on there. So some other things we have coming up is our Getting Grant Ready Academy. So if you are a member or you run a small nonprofit and you need help learning how to find funding, how to write grants, how to build your organization's capacity, Councilwoman Nancy Day Ockauer is offering this Grant Readiness Academy. It is a 9-month curriculum on how to do grant writing and nonprofit business management. And you also get a 1-year membership with the Franklin County Human Services Chamber. So this is a really great opportunity to just kind of increase the work that you're doing as a nonprofit or for a nonprofit that you know. And the applications open on the 9th, so they opened yesterday, and they're closing on July 31st at the end of the month. And that is also on our website and on our social media as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And so those are all of my updates from the month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there questions from commissioners for Ms. Michelle? Wonderful. We'll move on to Ms. Leah Lewis with Columbia Gas. And I know we've got some public comments, so I'm just trying to keep us.
Hey y'all, I know it's been hot in the streets, so I'm here as always.
I can't see.
Hey.
Hello.
How you doing?
I don't know.
Well, I'm here. Don't worry, I'm Columbia Gas. So, as always, thank you for advocating for your community and giving me all the feedback. I just want you to know I hear you, I've heard you, I will continue to fight and advocate for you. As Paul has stated, we are working hand in hand with the city to figure out what we can do, alternate paths, to save some trees. 7 trees will come down, unfortunately, but what I can say about the 7 trees are those trees are smaller in diameter. All the emails reference the big oak tree, which is 100 years old, and it is a staple in this community. We are working hand in hand. So I can't make promises to you, but I can promise that I continue to advocate and do the best that we can. It is ultimately in the hands of the city. So we'll continue to work, fight, and do what we can. I've gotten a lot of emails. I've responded to all of those emails. I've literally had conversations with, you name it, I probably talked to them, from neighborhoods to city council to Department of Public Service to forestry. I mean, I bubbled it all the way to the top. And yeah, I hear you, and I won't stop.
Where's that tree?
Where's the trees?
The one, the big one, wherever you.
It's on East 200.
Oh, tonight.
So we're fighting to keep that one in
It's
particular.
in our neighborhood, yeah.
Yes, we want to save the trees if we can.
Thank you.
Yes, and just to follow up to that, once we come to some resolution of whatever that should be, you know, I'll bring you guys along for the journey. So I'll make sure to send out emails, news blasts, paper mailers with the full detail of what that restoration looks like. And just something that I want to say to advocate for my brand, which is Columbia Gas. When we went out there to do, you know, that restoration walk that we all needed and we were ready to get done, that's when we identified 17 trees. I know we started with 19. It was 17 out of like over 123 trees. And even though 17 is small from 123, when me and my team heard that number, we were like, let's just hold up real fast before we make those decisions. And that's when we brought in all these other parties to see what we could do as an alternate path. So thank you for all the ideas for what we could do. So we're working at it. And I'm positive, I'm not positive, but I'm optimistic of what that will look like. So as always, please call me, text me, email me. I'm here for you.
Well, I know I've gotten a ton of emails, and it's not even my district, so I'm sure your inbox is even.
Oh, I know.
more
Paul,
wide.
first of all, Paul is always going to be on the scene when it comes to a tree on 2 Lane. So I know that you've been reaching out to Rosalie. I've called her personally, like, hey, what we gonna do?
It seems like it's in DPS's hands right now. Whatever your arborist came up with for a solution for the trees, the larger ones especially, you can't replant a 24-inch tree, right? So I think that I'm interested to see what DPS comes to. We don't have to worry about snowplows hitting the curbs in our neighborhood.
Well, I'm glad that you said what you just said, so you understand
They
that.
never plow it, but
No, they did for the project.
yes, but right down the middle. The people who are parked on the side. 2 trees of my interest are the 2 large sweet gums in your Calumet and 2 Lane. One is like a 90-foot canopy width. It has a limb that kind of goes like this in front of people's houses. That's one of the ones that's slated on the list that I got. So.
Is that, so I'm bad, first of all, you know I'm bad with directional, but is that the east or the west of 2 Lane?
It is on 2 Lane at Calumet. Calumet's the main street in the middle.
It's not one of the 7, so that means that God's grace may.
Oh, I know that. It is. It's not one of the 7. So I'm hoping that there's a
so
solution that DPS. I hope your arborist can convince DPS that, in fact, whatever curb solution.
I'm trying to. So just know I'm putting my name on it to push for what's right. But you know I can't make it.
Yeah, I have another question. When is the actual restoration going to begin? I know we're supposed to start in June, but that's going.
Well, we were supposed to be doing it right now, and then we found out about those 17 trees, and we said, so.
I appreciate that.
Yes, so we will actually begin, because we know that the 7 will come down. So we'll actually begin that work starting next week. And then in the upcoming weeks, based on whatever that resolution is, we'll continue down.
Will that be a block by block again, where we have to like not park on a block and then kind of work away, or are you going to do the whole street at once?
So I actually brought in one of the most amazing people I know, Nick Murdoch, who is the execution construction manager. He actually has more details when it comes to like a restoration timeline. So maybe he can jump in and.
Yeah, so we will take it block by block. We'll go through and do the curb removal, sidewalk, driveway aprons, and then come back and replace those. I think they're going to break it up into 3 blocks or 3 chunks. And I forget the streets exactly, but we'll basically break it up into 3 chunks and try to kind of complete each one in a week. And that will just be the concrete work. So we'll get the curb removed, get the new curb slipped in, go back to the aprons. We talked about driveways, and then we'll pour back a more temporary pavement to fill that gap. And then when all that's done, then they'll bring the milling machines in, which will take off an amount of asphalt off the surface and place the new asphalt back down. That'll happen in a couple day period throughout the entire.
That'll be the entire street as it was before. That makes sense. So, yeah. And then are you restoring the speed humps that are at the intersections?
Yeah, we'll be putting stamped asphalt back in the speed humps, and then also the intersection Summit, brick put back there to restore it back to its condition now. So, thanks.
Yes, I love that you do all of that.
May I say something? Your orange in your dress, orange, right?
I would say it's a peach, but an orange.
Okay, no, we need orange. This young man, is that orange?
Sure.
Orange is a very spiritual color.
Oh, that's right.
Who said that?
Me.
Who?
Me.
How do you know, honey?
I just know about the spirit, and I'm glad that I'm
Look at you. My guru from India told us that.
That's right.
Orange is a spiritual, a godly color. Put it on your kids, grandkids, grandma.
Leah, thanks for all your efforts.
Ms. Edsel, did you have another?
Yeah, I just want to add a little bit to that. I'm sorry I don't have orange today, but I'm definitely going to work.
It's okay.
Just a response from the city. We too have been definitely working with representing city council's DPS. Do you have an arborist or is that hard?
So we have an arborist, but he is like, he's been working with the city for like almost 30 years.
Okay.
So he's a trusted partner.
Gotcha. Because our arborist has been working with DPS and all that stuff, and they have come up with a series of options and they presented to Columbia Gas. And so ultimately that is on their table right now for them to decide where to go next. So that's where the city is. Am I missing anything?
No, we hope that some of the options will be able to preserve the remaining 10 trees. So again, decisions will have to be made as reconstruction is being done, but there are several options that they could go forward with. So.
I had really great experience with Councilmember Dorrance's His office was really responsive, and they've been talking to DPS, and I heard that there was a possibility of perhaps a sandstone curb being implemented that would not result in the roots being damaged and the trees would remain. So that was the last thing I heard before coming over this evening. And
Because the spot's already there, so just slip it back in.
Yeah. So that is an option, and I also would like to add, he gave me clearance to say this, that they're going to pursue sandstone legislation for the future. Because this is an issue that has come up before. As of right now, they're not currently pursuing anything, and there aren't any details or a timeline. But the council member has heard all of the concerns regarding the sandstone issue with historic districts, and is looking to do something about it. So we can look forward to that in the future.
Yes, his office called me first, I think, and then it was everybody.
Yeah. If I can add one more thing as well, multiple council members have heard this issue, including Councilman Barroso Padilla, Public Service Chair, as well as Councilmember Christopher White, our Columbus Water and Power Chair. And one thing that his team also wanted to mention was that many of the emails have his email incorrect. Yes,
he called me too.
Yeah, so it's just for the record and for anyone else, it is clwyche@columbus.gov. But we are making sure to forward those to their team. They're getting everything. So they did want to mention if you have received a response from their team, it's just because you probably sent it to the wrong email. But yes, several members are on top of this and really want to make sure we can preserve as many trees as possible. So they're doing their best.
Thanks. I'm really happy with my neighbors who really stepped up and just made a stink.
My email heard you.
Yeah.
Mine did too.
I know.
All
Your neighbors very well.
July weekend.
Yeah. And it's just, the city of Columbus stands behind the tree, tree canopy and all that stuff, and we don't want to see anything.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
Well, what happened to my brother here? God damn all of you!
Hi, Mom.
You never gave him a chance!
I'm a resident on Tulane.
Shut up!
Whoa.
Excuse me.
Speaking about this issue.
I don't care, I'm talking!
You have talked more than anyone in this room.
Oh,
today, ma'am.
get out of here!
We are finishing this topic.
No, not yet! You dismissed my brother like he's nothing! He's your goddamn neighbor!
Thank you.
Did you hear what I said?
Everyone has
change your goddamn mind!
Hey.
What?
The language.
I don't care! God gave me those goddamn words! Take them away if you can!
Please share
comment.
I know there are a couple of beloved trees that we're fighting.
Oh, shut up! God damn it! I'm talking about my brother!
Alright. We just about over with the meeting. This is about it.
No. What the hell is it?
I'm a neighbor.
You can
We're
take
fighting
her out.
trees.
Well, no.
No, you're not!
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Someone was better. Please. Okay.
I'm staying until the goddamn end!
As a security guard, you should know.
Well-
Oh, shut up!
Okay.
I know there are a couple beloved trees on Tulane, but I just want to make
Oh,
sure.
hell with the
that
goddamn
is
tree.
coming is coming for all of them.
Oh,
I don't
shit.
live near those that they're fighting so hard
Oh,
for.
damn it.
The list that came out that I saw on Facebook today has my neighbors, the neighbor next door, essentially our whole side of the street. So I just want to make sure the solution is for all of these trees that are on the old growth trees, not the 7 on the other side.
Yes,
That's
so we
not,
wanna
we're gonna save one,
one
placate
and
the
not the
neighborhood, and then take out the rest. So I just
So
want to make
what-
sure we're thinking about all of them.
So what I'll say is I'll fight just.
Change your goddamn
I'll fight for
mind!
the one, I'll fight for all 10. I
God
won't
damn it!
just one, but I'll.
You don't live near me!
So I hear you. I'm down for you.
God damn it!
Sorry.
I don't care.
It's okay. I don't take it personally. You better fight for those trees. Cause I hear you and I'm here for you. You know
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Do we have any other comments on the Columbia Gas project and the tree restoration, the tree preservation?
Yeah, go up to Park of Roses and you'll see a tree from out west. The tall trees out there. I don't remember what they are.
Thanks, Rick.
There's one in our garden. Now you're not gonna get the goddamn it anyway.
Now is the point in the evening where we have open.
What, a prayer?
This is,
Let's have a goddamn prayer.
we have open public comment now.
Okay, go ahead, anybody. I dare
Is there
you.
any neighbor who would like to offer public comment this evening? Do you have a specific public comment that you wanted to share?
Yes, I would like you, all of you, to take your goddamn boats out and put my brother in his house. He's scared of everything around that goddamn neighborhood. I am too. They have dogs beyond dogs. I'm not allowed to walk my baby down the alley because their dogs are after me. Nothing was said about that shit. Yeah, go ahead and kill me.
No, absolutely not. That is
Well, hell, I don't care.
Alright, come on. There's donuts over here.
I don't want any goddamn
Come
donuts.
on.
It's too much sugar.
We'll take it home.
I'm not taking anything home.
Is there any?
I just want them to revoke them goddamn.
Well, we got the point. We're gonna.
No! They didn't get it. They don't get the shit you go through every day.
That's alright.
No, it's not.
Well,
I can't take it.
the neighbors are gonna, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Our
okay?
next meeting.
Well, they're gonna get what they want.
Our next
They're-
meeting
they won't be happy.
is Thursday, August 7th at 7 p.m. and this meeting is adjourned.
All right, thank you. God damn it. I need help, Lou.
Alright, here.
That's that guy.
That's what I keep.
Damn it, petition.
Thank you.
Shit. Damn it. What the hell did they want? Who are these goddamn members? I don't know. I don't care. But their babies. Real good. I'll be back.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get together next week.